Okay, boys and girls, today we start the next lesson in our patterns unit. This is lesson 4. And in lesson 4, we're going to be using a variable to write an equation. Now, this will start to look a wee bit tricky, but it's not. It's very straightforward. Before this lesson, you should have looked at the Scholastic Study Jam on word problems and creating equations to solve word problems. If you haven't done that, go back now and do it. It will make life just a wee bit easier. Okay, let's start this lesson then. After the lesson, you're going to do some questions at the bottom of this Google Doc and turn those questions in to me, okay? So, which statements below here are equations? Well, this one's okay. This second one, no. This one, this is okay. This one, no. And this last one is okay. The reason why they're okay, they're equations because we have an equal sign here. Whatever is on either side of the equal sign is correct. 3 plus 7 is indeed 10. 12 is 14 minus 2. And 5 minus 1 is the same as 2 plus 2. Okay, now if we look at this diagram here, we have seven circles on the left side over here. Over here, we have 5 circles and a trapezoid. And so the question we could have is this. We could ask, what number of counters must replace the pattern block to create an equation? So for both sides to be equal, what would we have to replace this trapezoid with? And the answer is, of course, 2. Okay, but how could we make an equation for that? We could say 7, which is how many circles we have here, equals or is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the number under the trapezoid. We'll call that T, the number under the trapezoid. So for that sentence to be true, T would have to equal 2. So that 7 is 5 plus 2. That would work. Okay. Here's some other problems. Mrs. Wickenheiser opened up a package of 20 pencils. She gave out some pencils. There were 6 left. How many pencils did she give out? This part here, how many pencils did she give out? That's our unknown. That's our variable. We'll use the letter P for that one. So she opened the package of 20 pencils. There's 20. She gave out some pencils. Okay? We don't know how many she gave out, right? So I'm going to say we're going to subtract P. We don't know how many that is. There were 6 left. So 20 take away the pencils equals 6. How many did she give out? The P, the number of pencils she gave out, must be 14, because 20 minus 14 would be 6. Next question here. It says, Mr. Ward has 36 emails in his inbox. This is twice as many. That means 2 times, right? 2 times as many emails as he had last week. How many emails did Mr. Ward have last week? This is what we're looking for. This is what we don't know. We don't know how many emails I had last week, so I'm going to use the variable E. So I had 36 emails last week, all right? 36 emails last week. That's twice as many. So 36 equals twice as many, 2 times my emails from last week. So 36 equals 2 times my emails from last week. Or I could also say 2 times my emails from last week equals 36. Now 2 times what is 36? Well, 2 times 18. The emails I received last week were 18. Okay, that's a hard one. Let's try some others. Here's some equations on one side and some problems on the other. So 8 is, that's the equal sign is, 3 more than a number. And they're using a shape. We could have simply put n. 8 is 3 more than a number. What would n have to be? 8 would be 3 more than 5. Okay, so 5 plus 3 would be 8. Here's 2 is, 2 less than a number. So there's 2 less. Take away 2 of a number. There's our unknown number there, n, is 9. So 2 less than a number is 9. What must that number be? Well, n would have to be 11, because 11 minus 2 is 9. 4 times a number is 20. So 4 times a number n equals 20. N would have to be, well, 4 times what is 20? 4 times 5. And 5 is 30 divided by a number. 30 divided by, we'll say, n. So 30 divided by what is 5? Well, n would have to equal 6. Okay. Now, there is an activity that we do with that, but we're not doing it because you're not here. We just did those ones. So here are some, this is what's in the textbook. We may be able to write an equation to help us solve a problem. We use a letter variable to represent what we do not know. Now, Jean-Luc opened a package of 20, oh, we did that one already, Mrs. Wickenheiser. That's the pencil question. Okay. So here's some other questions from our school. Mrs. Archibald has 26 birds in her backyard. 13 are feeding at the bird feeder. How many are not at the bird feeder? So this is what we're trying to find out. That's what we don't know. So 26 birds are in the backyard. Okay, 26 equals 13 at the bird feeder and the ones that are not at the bird feeder. The 13 plus x. So how many aren't at the bird feeder? Well, 13 plus x will give us 26. X would have to be 13, because 13 plus 13 equals 26. Now, Mrs. Bowes keeps dreaming of Hawaii, so she went and bought 27 pineapples to share with the class. She gave one away to each of the students that were at school that day. She had 11 pineapples left over. Okay, here's what we don't know. How many kids were present that day? So, she's got 27 pineapples that she starts with, equals, she gave one away to the class, so she gave some pineapples to the class, plus she had 11 left over. So how many kids were there that day? So this is the number here. We're trying to find out the number of students that were there that day. So 27 equals what plus 11? Well, 16 plus 11. So P has to equal 16. That's how many students were there that day. Next one. Miss Cahill loves to cook. Well, that should be a capital. She has collected 143 cookbooks, but has only used 34 of the cookbooks to make recipes with. Okay, that's what we do know. What don't we know? How many does she still have to use? So she starts off with 143 equals 34 that she's used plus the ones that are unused. I'll put a U there. 34 plus the unused ones will give us 143. Okay, we have to do some mental math here. We have to think off to our side. Well, what's 143 minus 34? We've got to do that in our head. 3 take away 4, cannot do. Bottom's bigger, better borrow back. 13 take away 4 is 9. 3 take away 3 is 0. 1 on its own. So U, the number of ones she hasn't used, has to be 109. Because 34 plus 109 will give us 143. So Benson's collecting cans of food for the food bank. On Monday, he collects 27 cans. On Tuesday, he collects 53 cans. How many more cans did Benson have on Tuesday than Monday? Okay, so that's what we're trying to find out. How many more did he have? So we start off with Tuesday's number, 53. We have to, how many more means we're going to subtract 27 equals the number of cans he has more on Tuesday than on Monday. So that's our equation that we'd write. Now we might want to even come up with an answer. You might have to say, okay, if I want to find the answer, I'll work it out in my head or I'll work it out on the side. 7 take away 3, bottom's bigger, have to borrow back. 13 take away 7 is 6. 4 take away 2 is 2. So C has to equal 26. Last one. Judy has 75 stickers. She shares the stickers among her friends. Now, sharing means you're dividing, okay? You divide when you share. Each friend has 15 stickers, so she's got 75. She's sharing it with her friends. We don't know how many friends she's got. That's what we have to find out. That's our variable to find out. 75 divided by F equals 15. Now, that's a tricky one. You might have to use a calculator. F equals what? So let's think 15, 30, 45, 60, F equals 5. 75 divided by 5 will give you 15. So how many friends does she have? She's got 5. Now, we did those questions. These questions here are the ones you're going to do on your Google Doc. But you don't have to worry about number 7. Number 7 you won't have to do. Okay? Just want to point a few things out to you. Which equation below represents this problem? Okay, here's a problem. Together, Melissa and Pierre have 15 rare hockey cards. Melissa has 9 cards. How many cards does Pierre have? So is it this answer? Is that the equation? Is it this equation? Is it this equation? Which equation is correct? Or is it this one? So is equation A, B, C, or D? Okay, come up with that answer. Then, for the next questions, questions 2 to 4, I'll change colour here, you have to write an equation for each one. So Mary George has 4 buckets of clams for the Longhouse feast. Each bucket contains the same number of clams. Altogether, Mary George has 120 clams. So she's got 4 buckets, altogether 120 clams. How many clams are in each bucket? Give me an equation. Then Leslie read 114 minutes. Hold on, Judy. Just wait there. Leslie read 114 minutes, pages of an exciting novel. The novel is 204 pages. How many more pages does Leslie have to read? Give me an equation for that. All right, and then do questions 4, 5, and 6. Now I have to go because Judy's at the window. Okay.